Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having an amazing day. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to make manifestation feel easier. And when I say easier, I mean how to experience manifestation in a way where you're on the other side of it saying, oh my gosh, this came to me and I didn't even have to do anything. I didn't even have to try. It felt like it took no effort, no work. If that's something that you desire and you want to experience your manifestations in that way, stick around because we're going to get into it in this video. However, I first want to say, if you're new here, I'm Katie. And on this channel, we get into all things manifestation, conscious creation, and really helping you step into your power so that you can create the life you desire on purpose. So if that sounds good to you, stay for this video and don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you can be here for all my future videos. Okay, so let's get into it. How to make manifestation feel easy. And this is coming from somebody who has also felt the opposite of that. I have experienced the feeling of, why isn't it here yet? And how come I'm doing this, and this, and it's still not working? Am I even doing this right? Is what's still off in my energy? What am I missing? I've experienced all of that. I've experienced long periods of time where I felt frustrated. I've experienced long periods of time where I felt like nothing was moving, nothing was working. I've experienced long periods of time where it felt like, I'm quote unquote doing all the right things and yet not seeing the result. And so now I'm speaking on it from a shift in perspective because, I think that it can sometimes be frustrating to hear from somebody who's saying that it's easy if they've also never experienced kind of the other side of that where it didn't feel like that. So I can confidently say, if you're in those places, I get it. I know what that feels like. I've been there myself, and I promise you that it's not like this is only reserved for some people, like only certain people can experience it in a way that feels really easy. You can have this too. So let's just start by saying that manifestation is an extremely natural process. It's happening all of the time. I've talked about this in previous videos, but manifestation is ever unfolding. Manifestation is simply like the physical unfolding in our reality of energy. And we're always in manifestation mode, whether we know it or not. And so if you want to start consciously creating in a way where it feels easy, where it feels effortless, where it feels like the most natural thing in the world, then first know and understand that manifestation just as its own thing is natural. It's not something that you have to try to do. Manifestation is always unfolding. However, for most of us, maybe we don't like, or we're not so excited about the things that have unfolded in certain areas or, at certain points in our life. And so we now want to consciously experience different manifestations. We want to consciously create manifestations that do feel good. And so if you want your manifestation to feel easy, then the energy with which you're practicing your manifestation practices needs to be encoded with that same feeling. So what do I mean by this? I mean that if you want to feel like it took no effort, it took no work, it was so easy, you look back on it and you're like, I didn't even have to try and I got this, then you need to start embodying that now. And I think this is where a lot of us get really it feels almost like mind boggling or confusing, or we're tripped up by it because we're so conditioned to be in the thinking mode. And I just did a video on this about how in order to manifest more, we need to think less. But so many of us are conditioned to be in the thinking mode and the problem solving mode and focusing on like what's wrong and how to fix it. But we create more of what we are. We create more of the energy that we're currently in. And so even if this seems weird or off, just go with me here, because If you want it to feel like ease, you want it to feel like it just flowed, you want it to feel like you didn't even have to try, you didn't have to lift a finger and it came to you, then that's the energy that you need to be embodying right now. It's not about you going into problem solving mode and figuring it all out and trying to think your way through it and trying to understand, well, okay, I'm doing this, this, and this. I'm saying my affirmations. I'm doing this. I'm meditating this. Like, why isn't it here? Why isn't it not working? Because let me ask you this. What energy are you in when you're doing that? What's the energy that you're going about your day with? What's the energy that you're going about your practices with? Right? Like, it's an energy of scarcity, lack. It's not here yet. It's an energy of anxiety, like, okay, I just need to try harder. It's an energy of maybe some fear, like, oh gosh, if I don't manifest this by then, it's like, oh my God, this is a problem, right? Like, it's typically nothing good, right? And it's certainly not an energy of ease. It's an energy of this is not working. This is going to take more work. This is stressful. This is like frustrating, right? And so if you're right now in an energy of this is frustrating, this is stressful, this isn't working, this is not easy, this is hard, then it can't yield results that also felt like pure ease. And that felt like just a natural unfolding. And that felt like you didn't even have to lift a finger and it came to you. And so if you want to feel that way, it's about you starting it now, which I think is sometimes really challenging for those of us who grew up with a lot of programming and conditioning that you have to think your way out of it. You have to figure it out. You have to try to solve it. You have to try to find the answer. You have to do it all yourself. This is like the total opposite of that because there really isn't anything you have to do. Because if you want to feel like pure ease, then it's just about you practicing that right now. And you can still do your practices if it feels good. Like still go ahead with say your affirmations, do your meditation, go about your daily life, living your life, but asking yourself, what's the energy behind how I'm doing these things? Am I doing this from an energy of ease? Am I doing this with the energy of the version of me that's like, I didn't have to even do anything. Like if it feels like work, if it feels like a struggle, if it feels like you're having to like sacrifice yourself along the way, then you're going to keep drawing in experiences that continue to reflect that feeling back to you. It's going to always feel that way, not because that's the way it is, but because that's what you're choosing through your energy, through your intentions, through the way that you're choosing to go about it, which I understand that it doesn't always feel like a choice, right? Because it can be very subconscious, but the energy that you're manifesting from is the energy that your manifestation is like, it's like the foundation. Like if you're, think about if you're like building a house with this particular foundation, then your house is only ever going to be as strong or as protected or as safe or as functional as that initial foundation. And it's the same thing with the manifestations. If you're creating your manifestation from a foundation of this is taking a lot of hard work, I'm really frustrated by this, this is taking so much effort, then that's what you're building your manifestation with. And so that's what's going to be infused into it when you receive it. And so it's about in this now moment, getting really clear on what does that feel like when it just comes to you with ease. Right? Like, ooh, that feels good. How does it feel when it's just naturally unfolding, when you didn't have to lift a finger? This is the work. This is the inner work to do, is just getting really clear on that feeling and then infusing that feeling into all that you're doing. So if your affirmations don't feel good, it feels like work, then don't do them. If sitting down to do your meditation every day is feeling like work and it's feeling stressful, then don't do it, because anything that feels like that energy is not the thing that's going to lead you to the manifested feeling of ease. You want to find things that feel like ease. And it first starts with you cultivating that feeling within yourself, starting to feel like, what does that feel like, and embody it now. even before you have the manifestation. And I think that this is also sometimes scary for some of us because we feel like if we allow ourselves to feel ease now and to feel that feeling of like there's no work to be done and there's nothing I have to do and I can just let it come to me, then we're afraid, especially if you might be kind of similar to me where you might have grown up with some conditioning around like productivity and all this stuff where all of a sudden it's like, well, I'm not being productive if I'm not somehow doing something, or how could I just let it be easy? Like almost feeling guilty if it's easy, or like, yeah, feeling like it's wrong if it's easy, like it should require more work if it's actually worth anything, if it's successful, if whatever. So check yourself in those moments and say, am I committed to this old programming, or am I committed to the version of me that gets to enjoy ease, that gets to enjoy the feeling of it being easy? Because if I'm committed to that, then that starts with me allowing it in right now, allowing in that feeling right now and moving from that feeling, asking myself, okay, if this practice that I typically do doesn't feel like it, okay, what does? Okay, you know what feels like pure ease? And it's sometimes going to be those things that feel like your guilty pleasures, right? Because a lot of us have, again, this conditioning that like the things that are our guilty pleasure are the things that just like feel good without us having to work for anything, right? And there's like a part of us that feels guilty, like, oh gosh, this is why it's a guilty pleasure, because I didn't have to work for it. I just get to like do nothing and feel good. So it sometimes could be like, oh, just letting yourself like sit around in the middle of the day, or just giving yourself permission to like lay in the bath and like read a magazine, or just giving yourself permission to like lay out in the sun and literally do nothing except just like enjoy the sun. Like these are the things that typically we feel like some sort of guilt around. Not saying that's right. Like this is like the conditioning that we sometimes pick up on it. And so we don't really do those things all the time. We don't let ourselves do them. But these are the things that are typically like tune into that energy a little bit. Like what are the things that like you really enjoy that do feel like ease, but you're almost like afraid to let yourself do them? Practice doing those more, because it's not about what you're doing. You just doing more for the sake of doing isn't going to give you that feeling, because guess what? Just doing more for the sake of doing is you infusing the manifestation with the idea that you have to always be doing, that you have to be doing more. Like this is really going to cause you to kind of like question why you're doing things. What are you doing? What's the energy behind it all? Is this an energy of ease? Is this an energy of things just showed up for me and I didn't have to work for it? Or are you right now still perpetuating the idea that, well, I have to be doing something. I have to be doing something. I have to be figuring it out. I always have to be productive. I have to be working harder. Because if that is the energy behind it, then that is the reality you'll continue to have. So it's up to you right now to decide for yourself, what am I committed to? And if I want to experience, if I want to be that person that's sitting at the end of this saying, oh yeah, manifestation's easy for me. It's so easy. Like anytime I get a new idea, I get a new desire, I just like relax into it and it just shows up for me and I don't have to work for it. It's just easy. If you want to be that person, then it's up to you right now in your current experience, in your current reality, to give that to yourself. Give that feeling to yourself, because that's what you can do for you. It's not about changing anything out here. It's not about going and changing all these different things in your life. It's about you first cultivating it in here, choosing it in here, and then moving from that energy in your day-to-day life. So choosing things where you feel that ease. Or if maybe it's like, okay, I go to this particular job every day and it doesn't necessarily feel like ease. Okay, then instead it's about you finding how you can cultivate ease in yourself no matter what's going on around you. It doesn't have to be like you work this very easy, blissful job. You could be in a busy situation and you're cultivating ease within you because you're choosing it. So instead of viewing it as this busy, stressful thing, you're deciding to view it as, this is a chance for me to practice feeling ease. This is where I'm going to tune into ease. I'm feeling it. It doesn't have to be this stressful situation. It's all about how you can feel and how you perceive it. So you experiencing ease with manifestation is possible. It is 100% available to you. You are, if you want it, then you can be that person who's telling the story of everything comes to me and it's so easy. I don't even have to work for it. And the first step is you choosing it and you cultivating it within yourself right now. Be the energy that you want infused into the foundation of your manifestation. Keep thinking about that example of the house. What is the energy that you're infusing into the foundation of your manifestation? Because the energy that you're embodying right now is the energy that that manifestation is going to be built with. So choose right now to be at ease. Choose right now to give that feeling to yourself. Choose right now to live from that energy, and you will be that person. Come back in the comments and let me know how this turns out for you. And I guarantee I'm going to have some people coming back saying, yeah, this worked for me and I am this person, because this is how you do it. All right. So if you have any questions or you want me to go into anything further, as always, leave your questions and comments down below. I love to, create more videos where I go deeper into certain aspects of different topics when you guys ask for things. So let me know. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel. And if you are interested in working with me on a deeper level, whether that be one-on-one or through the membership, you can find all the links that you need down below. So other than that, I will talk to you guys soon and see you in the next video. Bye.